Welcome, guys.
Good morning.
Chat is open. Chat is open. Okay. Happy Tuesday. Taco
Yeah,
Tuesday.
happy Tuesday, last day of the quarter. Can you believe it?
Wow. No.
It's
Great.
time for quarter number two, guys.
Oh
Quarter
no.
number two. Quarter number two.
Come on in. Come on in.
And we got a lot of events for you guys local. We have our in-person meeting tomorrow, our quarterly meeting. It'll be awesome.
And network. Incredible vendors. The vendors for you guys. We're gonna be learning about multifamily this month. Just pop the link in the chat for you guys.
Yes, you're gonna want to come tomorrow. It's gonna be good. Got to come network, meet some of our vendor partners, everything you guys need for real estate. I even got some snacks for you guys, right? So we're feeding you a little bit. Come on, I know you guys want to come. And it's about being involved, guys.
Once a quarter.
Yep. Good morning. People are hopping in, hopping in. Yeah, we got a lot of events going on. Woo!
Yeah, we
Between
do.
last week, this week, today, tomorrow, it's the in-person event. Thursday, we got another
Very
webinar. Thursday night, I got something hopping also with the Turning Point. Say what?
true. You guys, if you have not checked out our new website, please do. It might be, a little different, always something different takes some time to get used to, but I promise you guys will love it. It looks nice if you ask me. And all of our events are listed there. So we try to make it so easy for you guys and um, just just try to make it easy for you guys. So if you have any questions on registering for events, anything like that, please let us know. We want to make your life easy and make it easy for you guys to get registered and RSVP'd for these because we want to know who's going to be there. So if you can, always RSVP, register, pre-register so that we know who's coming and we can really plan for you guys to be there. So check it out. Links in the chat. So please go let us know what you think of the new website. And hopefully it's easy for you guys to navigate because that was the whole point of us redoing the website. So but welcome everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for hopping in the webinar today. This is BPM RIA, Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only local and approved chapter here in South Florida that is partnered and in compliance with the National Real Estate Investors Association. My name is Alexa, COO here at BPM RIA. We also have our CEO here, Anish Dave, who is also the National Real Estate Investor Association president. For all the chapters, you guys, there's 120 approved chapters across the country, over 40,000 members, just like you guys. And it's just an incredible, incredible honor. So hope you guys, if you guys didn't know that, now you know. So we have a really cool webinar today. It's a very interesting webinar. So hold on tight, you guys. We don't stay on till the end. We don't want to lose you. because I know some of these deals might be a little crazy, but I promise they paid off. And if they didn't, you will hear that too. So keep sticking along with us for the craziest real estate deals that we've ever seen and why they've worked. You guys can always scan that QR code at the very top to book a discovery call with us. You can always text BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to get on the text list. And if you guys are feeling a little extra lucky today, you can win a raffle. So we'll be raffling a free seat to our 2-day quick start training. It is coming up very, very soon. You have about a month to get your schedule in alignment with this. And sorry, guys, I forgot to change that bottom there, but this is a $895 value for non-members. Members, you guys get a special discount, but $895 value, you get a free ticket. So all you need to do is text the word quick start to 954-800-6961, and details are in the chat for you guys. So make sure you got that chat open, check out the chat, and I will announce the winner at the very end of the webinar today. And just a reminder, go ahead and text BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to this event line here. Don't call this number, guys, the 954-800-6961. This is just for your text event reminders, as well as raffles and fun things like that, which we'll be doing another fun raffle tomorrow at the networking event. So you guys, we're always making it fun for you. We're always trying to make it interesting and trying to, bless you guys with some special prizes and things like that. So get on the text list. Details are in the chat for you guys. And then quick start training. People. If you haven't taken the 2-day quick start, you absolutely need to take it. This is our 2 full-day boot camp online live via Zoom. You guys, this is a money back guarantee. We've made the safest training here at BPM RIA for those of you that want to get into wholesaling, flipping, and rehabbing. We know a lot of you guys want to get involved. You want to see what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, what kind of deals are you guys doing, how are you guys making these profits, and you are going to learn that in the 2-day boot camp. If you're not into the wholesaling, flipping, and rehabbing, then I guess this isn't for you. But anyone else, this is definitely going to be the training for you. We're going to learn how to leverage AI. We're going to learn some creative financing hacks. And we're also going to have 4 guest speakers on this training. They're all going to be key people in our power team that help us get deals done. They're going to be experts in software, deal finding, title, insurance, taxes, even construction. Guys, we have the whole team coming in for you for this weekend, and it's 2 full days with us, and we put that money back guarantee on there for you. So it is incredible. Go check out the link in the chat. You'll see who those guest speakers are on this training. Those coaches are just awesome. You'll also have 2 full days with our mentor and CEO, Anish Dave, and you guys can just imagine how much you're going to learn. And if you're liking the deals that you see in here today, then 100% you need to get into this boot camp. So we'll see you guys then. It'll be a great time. Members, as you guys know, you get all the discounted packages. You get all of the goodies. You get discounted event tickets. You get in free for the quarterly networking event. And you also get that National RIA benefit package. Since we are approved and in compliance with them, you get all of those discounts and benefits for property insurance, landlord tools, self-direct IRA, retirement access, all of this good stuff. So you guys, Home Depot, how could I forget? Home Depot was a big one, you guys. So you rehabbers and landlords and all those people out there that shopping at Home Depot, you absolutely need a membership. You are going to save a lot of money. You're going to get that rebate every 6 months. So make sure you go get your membership, and you also get in free for those quarterly networking events. You'll be able to bring in guests, and you'll just have exclusive access, different networking events that are members only. You'll just get some more. You'll just get more. That's all you need to know. And link is in the chat, you guys. So last but very not least, mentoring and coaching here at BPM RIA. If you didn't know, we offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring where we put up 100% of the money for our students' deals and split the profit 50-50. So nobody does this. I will tell you right now, I haven't seen anyone who does this, but you get your own personal mentor. We split the deals with you down the middle. We give you everything you need to start doing deals right now, software, CRM, your coach. You get everything, you guys. So we want to get you guys started in doing deals right now. If you are not doing deals right now, why aren't you doing deals right now? And we're here to help you do that. So go ahead and book your discovery call on our website. Link is in the chat box. You can also email us at info@bpmria.com. But I just recommend going and booking that discovery call so we can get you that info, get you a breakdown of what we include in our programs. And we also have third-party funding for you guys. If you're interested in funding your education, you can go ahead and use this third-party funding that we have available. Super easy. Scan the QR code, soft credit pull, 0% interest rate, and get that response within 24 hours. It's right there for you guys. So if you need that, it's there. We can pop that link in the chat too if you guys need it. And always, always, always want to take a moment to thank you guys for joining the webinar today. Thank you to National RIA, everything that they provide, all the resources, education, the incredible national speakers that they offer us. Like, you guys, National RIA is amazing, and all of our vendor partners too. We're going to pop that link for the vendor partners in the chat right now. All of these vendor partners are incredible. They're all real estate investor friendly. They want to work with you. You're going to see a ton of them tomorrow at the networking event, and they're all available on our website, you guys. They want to connect with you. They want to help you. They want to work with you. Title companies, lending, taxes, software, construction, all of these people, insurance, they're all there on our website. Property managers, they're all there. Go reach out to them, get connected with them, ask them questions, and see how they can help you move your business forward. So always want to take a moment to thank them as well. And thank you guys for joining again. We'll be putting helpful links in the chat throughout the webinar today, but please, 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 if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the Q&A box. You'll see a Q&A box in your Zoom menu. The Q&A box is there for you guys to put your questions so they don't get lost in the chat. But feel free to chat with us too. We want to hear from you and see what you guys think about these crazy deals that we're going to talk about today. And yeah, guys, just let us know what questions you have. That's why we're here. That's why we offer these webinars. We're here to help. We got Harry jumping in from probably on site right now at a property. Look at him go. These people
He's
don't
somewhere.
these people don't stop. And Harry is one of our mentors. Oh, okay, I know which property that is. It's a beautiful one. And you guys, our mentors, they're all doing their own deals. So you guys, you're in the best place to learn and just be surrounded by people who are like actually hustling out here. So I hope you guys know that we are like in the trenches and we are working with you, not against you. So
Yeah.
you know, it's just gonna get these deals up.
I
That's
know. I'm gonna
it's
so
okay.
it's
We're good.
gonna,
We see it. We see
yeah.
it.
We'll see what's going on here. So, welcome, guys. I do see a lot of new names here today. So, welcome. Put in the chat, where did you actually hear about the event today? I'm just kind of curious. Did you find us online? Are you getting emails, texts? Do I show up in your dreams? Let me know. I'm everywhere now. Alexa's everywhere too. So, it just helps us out. And so, we decided, some of you guys, I see a lot of familiar names. And you could see, we do a lot of educational stuff, fireside chats. We did one Friday with Cynthia. And so Alexa dared me because and said, man, you've done so many crazy deals and the stories that like we'll have lunch. And she was like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. She's like, you know what? That'd be a great webinar. So that's what today is about some of the craziest real estate deals from whether it's mortgages, it's from actually flipping houses, rehabbing houses, all the above. And so, who am I? As Alexa said, I am president of National RIA. I am also CEO of BPM RIA. I've been a licensed agent since 2004. I'm a licensed mortgage guy. I've been married for 14 years. I grew up in New Jersey. I've been in South Florida, gosh, Wow, it's 25 years. I'm sick of the cold weather. Went to engineering school and decided I didn't want to be an engineer. And fast forward, I graduated from USF in Tampa, got my finance degree, and I worked in banking. I said, "Yay, I'm going to work in banking, make a lot of money." And if you guys really understand banking, yes, there's different levels of banking. If you're an investment banker in Wall Street working for Blackstone, you're probably making really good money. Working at a local bank, whether it's Bank of America or Wachovia or Wells Fargo, all these banks to keep buying each other, you don't make much money. And, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How many guys have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Put in the chat. Yeah, me. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And so what I realized was that I was on the path of poor dad. My dad is poor dad, a financial analyst for almost 35 to 40 years. My mom was an accountant. And the idea was, hey, go to school, get your degrees, work for someone, and they'll take care of you. And as soon as I realized Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I was on the path of poor dad. I said, I got to figure this out. Got my mortgage license, built a mortgage company. I was up to about 28 properties, and when the market crashed, literally lost everything. So I didn't want to go back to corporate America. And I said, I got to figure this out. I spent well over $50,000 on a national program back in 2009. I do like the one thing that they did tell me to was go to your local RIA. That's how I found BRIA, the Broward Real Estate Investors Association. I was one of the top students. And as one of the top students, I eventually bought the companies from my mentors. And fast forward, we changed the name to BPM RIA about 5 years ago. So one of the things we always say, real estate investing made simple, right? Let's not complicate it. On our team, we do have Alexa, who is our COO. If you guys don't know, she is pregnant and ready to have this little girl, probably, I guess, within a week or two. So I just don't know how long she'll be on webinars for the next 90 days. So this could be her last webinar. Unfortunately, she will not be at our meeting tomorrow. She can't actually travel, so we'll have to do without her. And for you guys, when you show up tomorrow, just make sure you email Alexa and say I did a great job. Also on our team, Harry Diamond, he is on site at a house with Victoria, our mentors, Michael and Maddie, our mentors, and Denise and Lucian. Harry, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, I started real estate not knowing anything about it about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And quickly after spending a lot of money in a national program and never doing a deal, I did come across BRIA at the time, the Broward Real Estate Investment Association, and felt very comfortable there. So my wife and I, we joined the organization and under the wonderful tutelage of Anish, and we quickly shot up to be the number one students at that time back in not that long ago. And because we were so successful and because we were given so much guidance, that we decided to pay it forward to people like yourselves so that you too can realize that it's not that difficult to do what we do. And we love sharing and teaching and helping you guys achieve your goals as well. So there's more, but let's keep us on time, Anish.
Yep, absolutely. And so, we always talk about are you living your best life? And it was this real estate thing that allowed me to travel around the world with my wife and, spend more time with my dad. And what I also like, all the other mentors, we all love to travel, besides making a lot of money on deals. So, again, we've traveled together. We've also worked with the Miami Dolphins Business Combine. I am their expert on wholesaling and rehabbing. Some of you guys I know have been at the Quick Start, and you're wondering who are these big young men? They are professional athletes, so I am the expert for the professional athletic community. I've been working with them for 3 years. They are looking to have up to 5,000 current and former athletes. They are now in the NBA, Major League Baseball, women's volleyball, women's rowing. So they are expanding. And what we found out was a lot of these former players and current players, they also want to be in real estate. And what's really interesting was they were also scared to make offers, right? They are elite at what they do, and they had the same fear as Harry did and I did when I first started doing my first deal. Also, we love our BPM student community. We've been doing happy hours. We were on the National Rio Cruise together, which is pretty cool. I also met Grant Cardone. I always say that I was never a big Grant Cardone fan online, and then I met him, and totally different. And what I mean by that is his passion for kids. So he has a lot of non-for-profit programs to help kids get into real estate investing. So we really bonded over that. And amazing guy afterwards, after we chatted for a while. And we look forward to doing some things with Grant, especially on the non-for-profit stuff. Also, I was the first guest on Money Chats. It's a national program, and I am also their wholesale rehab expert. I'm going to play a quick little video just to see what we've been up to, and then we'll get started on our event.
This is one of the best programs I've been a part of. The support is outstanding.
I encourage you to join this association. Your life will be changed.
Anish and everybody that was part of the BPM RIA they were just wonderful. They got very knowledgeable. They were helpful. They were patient, kind, very good teachers, very organized. Everything was just it was a great uh, quick start seminar.
BPM Ria, Anish, and the team, they are amazing. I have been a corporate member of the BPM Ria, formerly known as BRIA, for probably almost 15 years. And being part of an organization like that is just amazing when you get to see the people's lives that they're changing.
Hey, what's up? This is Avery Moss, former New York Giant, former Miami Dolphin. Recently, I got to finish up this pack event where it was a group of professional retired athletes that got together and we're trying to figure out the next chapter of our life. Just hearing them talk, going through everything, like instantly, I was inspired by the guy. It was like a light bulb clicked above my head like a cartoon. And thanks to this day, I can say furthermore, I'm going to go through this process and get into real estate, stop messing around and actually do it because I feel confident now of knowing what I want to do after meeting him and getting the base knowledge and seeing how things are.
Position. Grab the seat of the chair. The seat.
There you go.
Should you be on board or should you want to? All right. Go straight to the floor. Not at an angle. Straight up and down. The seat is straight to the floor. Touch it once.
You're
Touch
gonna
it twice.
destroy that shit, dude.
Touch it a third time. Explode!
And I have to say, they're an exceptional bunch of people to work with. How to use a technique, creative financing, how to get rid of liens. Don't hesitate to join, work with them. They will definitely help you get through the roughest times.
They put up all the money for the deals. They're there with you, make sure all the paperwork is right. You know, they're not going to leave you alone on this. And yeah, I recommend this.
BPM Rio program, it's definitely changed our lives. They funded our deals.
Hey, can't go wrong with other people's money.
Exactly. You know, they funded our deals. They got us into real estate. They held our hand the whole way through, and just really, um, the most amazing thing is we literally have these guys to. It's nothing for us to pick up the phone and call Anish and be like, "Hey, look, we got this deal. What do we do?"
They're not gonna let your deal fall through.
Oh, we can't hear you,
Oh,
Anish.
there you go. Sorry, I muted myself. What is going on there, right? So one of the things is like I'm super excited about of what's to come. And so for the next hour or so, I'm going to talk about some of the deals that we've done, that were a little bit crazy, that are not, they're totally outside the box is probably an understatement, is what I'm going to start with. And so just how many of you guys realize, right, that all the deals, if you've done real estate deals, it always won't be easy. Give me a yeah, buddy. Just want to make sure you guys are alive. Let's see where. Yeah, okay. Some of you guys, yep. And how many of you guys realize that you can make a lot of money in real estate investing when you're really good? Yep, Carl Schule's on here, our contractor, our longest standing member. What I love about this is there's some deals that I'm going to talk about that, Carl, you're a part of. So we're gonna just kind of mess around. So I'm gonna start with one of these deals that was about 10 or I don't know. No, it's probably even longer, probably about 13 years ago. And we knocked on a door, right? So you know, this homeowner, we started talking to him, and there was a couple of phone calls and texts, and he said, "Hey, I'm not ready to sell." And one of the things that I thought was really funny was, like I got some things going on. I'll get back to you. And then he goes, "Hey Nish," he goes, "Well, how fast can you really close?" And I was like, "Well, as long as title and lien searches are in, I could close pretty fast." And so he goes, "Well, no, how real fast?" And so I'm like, again, title and lien searches. We always want to make sure there's clear title. That's super important for us. I always have the cash lined up. And then he calls me back and he says, "Well, can you close in 5 days?" And I said, again, title and lien search comes back. I'm cool with it. And luckily, we used Kevin Thatcher, Independence Title, one of our corporate members. And he goes, "I could get this." They put a rush order. And then what he said was really interesting. I don't know if you remember this, Harry. This is what Bill and Jan. So you might not have been around for this one. So he goes, "Well, are you really cash?" And I said, "Yeah, we're paying cash." Well, he wanted real cash. And when I say real cash, and it was about 100, back then, it wasn't an expensive house. It was like 180, 190. So he asked me, of course, right? Are you gonna like, how do I get the cash? I'm like, no, we wire the money to the title company. They're gonna disperse it, right? And then they'll send you a wire or a check, If you don't want to check, the wire is not instant, but you'll get it within 24 hours. The cutoff time is around 2 o'clock. And he's like, "No, I really need cash, cash." And then we started, diving a little bit deeper. And so he was having, I love South Florida as much as I love South Florida. There are some shady people in a nice sunny area. What's that phrase? Do you know that phrase? Harry, by any chance, shady people.
Sunniest place for the shadiest people.
What is it? One more?
South Florida is the sunniest place for the shadiest people.
How many of you guys have ever heard that? And that's exactly what happened. And so we did actually get it closed in 5 days. I'm not sure where they worked it out, meaning I know 1,000,000%, Kevin did not, go to the bank and get cash. He wired it, and from what I'm thinking was he wired to someone else, or to whatever account. So whenever you close a deal and you're the seller, they make you sign documents and say, hey, look, can you wire to this account? And the title company is released. So we did get it done in 5 days, which was kind of funny. And I'm not sure, I don't know if he had an IRS lien or he had something else going on. So it was like super shady because, when we always say cash deals, yeah, we're going to pay cash. It was the first time I've ever dealt with someone really think I was going to, I don't know, give a box of cash or, briefcase of cash. So that was a surprise move. And we got it under 5 days,
I
right?
have one question. I have one question? Did you get to keep the briefcase?
Yeah, right. Like as I said, I leave it on the other end. I don't mind wiring cash. And it was just something that was kind of sketchy. And it's really funny because the lesson on that is like, they're messy sellers and they create opportunity. And the key for you is you got to stay professional inside the lines, right? So, yeah, I'm not giving him cash, $10,000. I won't even get into the banking laws of cash, anything over $10,000. You have to fill out a form, all this other good stuff, exactly for money laundering, all the above. So for us, I know we got the deal because we were able to literally get the title and lien search that quick versus 5 days. I have no idea whatever happened to him. I don't know. Maybe he's in Costa Rica. He might be in one of these other spots out there that was a little bit sketchy. But as I said, the lesson is you got to fix problems out of that. So that was an odd one. That was early in my career working with Bill and Jan on a deal. And luckily, I had mentors like Bill and Jan, Leon, who actually started Bria. And now, we changed to BPM Ria. And it literally made a big difference. Harry, do you have you want to talk about any one of your deals that was a little
Well, we had one where we were going to do a short sale and we submitted all the paperwork to the bank. And it turns out there was a second mortgage that the bank couldn't find. It was back in 2006 and 8 when they gave out mortgages. They did something called a wraparound. The bank did what they called wraparound mortgage, where the first mortgage was for 80%, second mortgage was for 20%. When in 2008 hit, the banks went bankrupt. These notes disappeared. No one knows where they went. So with the bank, bottom line is the bank said we can't do a short sale because we don't have the second mortgage. And we didn't really want to do that either because we wouldn't have clear and marketable title. Think about if you buy a property and then the second mortgage rears its ugly head down the road. You owe that instead of having the opportunity to negotiate it. So I used Google, good old Google. Even back in the day, it was good. It's obviously much better today, ChatGPT and others. But I asked, what happened to this bank's notes? Where did all the notes go when they went out of business? So I started following that trail, making phone calls. And the people I spoke to said, "Oh no, we don't have that. We don't have that." I'm like, "But ChatGPT or Google told me you do." So I ended up calling the vice presidents. Somehow I found their phone numbers
I thought you
of this
went,
particular bank.
you know what I remember about that? Because I remember you working on that. Didn't you even track them down like LinkedIn and then you skip trace them?
No,
You said,
that one I didn't do. It's actually when I Googled
okay.
who the officials were, the presidents were. They actually showed a list of vice presidents and their direct phone numbers. It was the uncanniest thing. I don't think you have that opportunity today. But so I started calling them all 3 times each in a week. Finally, one of the head secretaries calls me. She goes, "The reason why you're not getting any information from the people downstairs who you originally called is their systems only go back 2 years. They don't have access to the older files. I was like, oh, okay, great. My heart sank a little bit. And then she goes, but I have access to the older files. Let me check into this and get back to you. She ended up telling me that they took it in on a certain date and actually sold it on another date. So I'm like, oh, the path continues. I still have to look more. The next bank that they had, it was much easier to find. And we ended up getting the second mortgage. Now here's where it got crazy. We said, okay, great, we got the second mortgage. Now we can do the short sale. We submitted to the bank to do the first to do the foreclosure, and they took the deal away from us. And they said, we're not doing a short sale. We're sending it to auction. I was like, this really sucks.
So wait, pause,
2 months worth of work.
Yeah, pause for a
to
second.
find it.
Pause for a second. And so put in the chat, how many of you guys would quit? How many guys, let's be honest here, tell me if you really would. You've heard so far, so right, thought we had a short sale, right? Negotiating with the bank. And again, we teach you how to do a short sale when you're in our mentoring program. And we talk about it during our quick start. So now, you go there and you think, hey, I got the homeowner on board, and now there's a second mortgage, right? So now you're like, holy crap. So for you guys that don't know, we have to get both mortgages approved on a short sale, right? So short sale, the quick end of it, again, is that the bank is going to take less than what it's owed on it. House is worth $200,000. Between the two mortgages, it might be $300,000. The first might be $220,000, the second's $80,000. And so now we're asking for the second to pretty much, almost take nothing. And then maybe the first to take less. I don't know I know this was years ago. Do you remember what the deal was on the numbers by any chance, or not really? I know this was a while. Oh, you do? Okay. All right. So far,
Yeah.
so I'm following along. The second mortgage, right? You finally find out after the lien search, right? That's when you find out that, oh my gosh, there's a second. I'm assuming the homeowner didn't tell you from the beginning, right?
The
they forgot?
homeowner was deceased. I was dealing with his son.
Got it. Yeah. So that's normal.
Oh no, actually no, the guy was alive, but I never met him.
Okay.
He was sick, infirmed, old, out of state, something along those lines. But I was dealing with the son the whole time. And we put an offer in for $47,000 to the bank. And when it got taken away from us, I was really heartbroken. I was like, I spent all this time, over 2 months, doing all this research to settle what the hell the bank wanted. This taught me over that time frame not to be too concerned with what the bank asked for, just get it for them. But I was raised in New York, so I'm a fighter. Anyway, so they sent it to auction. I was pissed. So and Nisha goes, well, let's bid on it at auction, take a shot. And it turns out that we were the one of only 2 bidders at the auction, and we got it back at $47,000.
Yeah.
The craziest thing. So
Yeah, we got it at the
all
same
of
price.
that,
That's
all
good.
that headache, and we still got it at the same price we wanted.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was really funny because it was frustrating. So there are a couple of things, like for us, generally speaking, we don't buy at auction. And the main reason is we can't get inside the house. So Harry and Victoria knew the house very well. We had photos, they walked it. We knew exactly what the repair cost was. So we even had a number, a ceiling of we'll go up to this, and we know we could still make money. So I think that's like the lesson. Harry, what do you think the lesson on that is? I know there's a couple, so I'll let you. What lesson would you say that you got?
Lesson on the deal or lesson on the auction?
No, on the deal, just in general, this whole process.
Never give up. Keep fighting until someone either threatens.
Oh, I think you froze, Harry. You must have dropped in a bad area. Okay, so yeah, so I think what he was saying
Oh, you
was,
froze. Oh, there you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you were
yeah,
frozen for a second.
yeah, you were frozen, you mean? So we missed what your lesson was. Never give up. That and then it stopped. What was it?
Oh, okay. Because I was talking, I saw
I know
you
you were,
froze.
or maybe I did froze. So
The lesson was never to give up.
yeah,
Until either they call the police or that the property is sold. But just keep going. My wife calls me a pit bull because once I sink my teeth into something, I never give up
yeah,
until until I've exhausted every single possibility to get this, solve this particular problem.
absolutely. Right. So like that's a great lesson. Never give up. And so the funny part is it as bad as it may seem, there's still opportunity, right? So I can't tell you how many times there's a second mortgage. And again, we have great title companies, negotiators. No one's ever going to look at your deal the same way you are, right? So again, it takes a lot of bandwidth to track all this stuff down, and the negotiators usually don't have the time for that. So they could have easily said no, no go. And Harry, like again, Googling their name and directly calling them. How many guys would have felt comfortable actually binding them and then saying, "Hey, I'm going to go call them"? Put in the chat.
Calling the vice president of a bank.
Yeah. How many guys would actually do
Yeah.
that, right? Like,
And never give up.
and so what the other interesting part was you weren't that experienced back then.
No, didn't know
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
That's probably what helped me.
Yep. So I think that's always, again, it's all about taking action. So like that's a really good lesson. So what I'm going to do is as we start telling these stories, put in the chat as we start going through them, which one's your favorite. So right now we've given you two so far. So which one do you like better? There's no winners in this. We made money on deals, so there's no winners on this. I know Harry's just a way better storyteller, and I love it. So this one was my previous lifetime
You're
when I
just
did
trying to say I talk too much. That's all.
no, not at all. When I was my previous lifetime as a full-time mortgage guy. And, one of the deals that happened was, again, it's relationship building. So this was about 2006, 7, I guess, around there. It was still, no, maybe 2000, yeah, around 2006, 7. And one of my very good friends, her mom is a phenomenal realtor and a real estate investor. And I've been trying for years to get her business. And even though she knew me, she's like, well, I have my own person. And so she finally gives me this deal, and it's his family. And I forgot what his job was. He was self-employed, and we start going through the application. So you got to remember 2007, 8, it was a little bit different. He wanted the best rates with the least amount of money down. And so we went through the whole mortgage application, right? The tax returns, W-2s, all the above. And again, he was self-employed. So he paid himself a salary. And on the salary, he made it, I can't remember the exact number. And I want to say it was like an even number, like 60,000. So I got his W-2s and his pay stubs, and all the numbers were exactly even. So how many guys realize that's a red flag for the lender? Put in the chat. Is that a red flag for the lender, right? And yeah, absolutely. Because if you're a W-2 person, rarely your W-2 says exactly 60,000. Or your paycheck, let's for easy numbers, it's 2,500 a week. I mean a month. I'm sorry, every 2 weeks, sorry. So 5,000 a month, right? So he's getting two paychecks. And they thought it was fraud. So back then, right? So we're doing this. I got the investor, my friend's mom, she's on me. Everything's approved, and everything's looking good. It's a family. It's gonna be my first deal. with the real estate agent investor. I know she kills it. I'm like, man, I'm psyched. And all of a sudden it goes through underwriting, and then all of a sudden I get all these emails from the underwriters that they don't believe it. So what they did was, it's called a 4506T. I guess I don't want to get too nerdy on the actual forms. Basically, when you apply for a mortgage, the lender, you fill out a form, they send it to the IRS and make sure it's the exact same thing that they're seeing, right? So if you said you make X amount of money with returns, many of you guys know, especially back then, we were, or we still are, the number one fraud state in the country. So there's a lot of, again, shady stuff happening. So they do the 45, so they start denying the loan. He's got his family, he's moving the next week, they're freaking out. So then they do the 4506T, and they matched, and they still didn't believe it. Like, it was a mess. I was like, I don't know what else to do on this. This is so crazy. You verify with the IRS, and the underwriter told him, like, well, we still don't believe this. I'm like, you sent the stuff to the IRS and you don't believe this. No, it can't be 60,000 even. It can't be 5,000 a month. Just doesn't make sense. And so now I got this, guy and his wife. He's got a young kid. Like, they're literally in tears, right? It's their dream home. Where are we going to stay? All like freaking out. So luckily back then, I also knew some hard money lenders. And what we were able to do was find a hard money lender to lend on it. I got the owner, the investor, to hold a second mortgage, and then we got the deal done. I mean, a panic. What I could tell you, Harry, imagine a family sitting in your office, like, are we going to close today? Are we going to close tomorrow? It did take a couple days extra to extend it. I did help negotiate also that they can move in, which was great, knowing the investor, and she was a 100% hard ass. She was like, no way, Nish, this, like, this amount of money. And so not only did we get the loan done and we were able to fix the problem, later he was able to refinance and actually get a normal mortgage. So that was like one of those things that really started pushing, all the things and thinking outside the box, right? And I think the lesson on that one is, deals don't die because of the deal itself, right? They die because the mortgage guy quits, right? Or saying it's not, I can't do this. And sometimes they just don't have the experience. So how many guys have been through that situation, whether it's yourself or someone you know? Put in the chat. I'm just kind of curious on that, right? So again, it was pretty crazy. The crazy part was, having a family cry, like in tears, waiting for their dream home. So talk about stress, and luckily it always worked out. So I got this one. I know that, Harry, I'll let you tell this one. And this is Julio's double probate deal. Yeah. Well, how about the double probate deal?
We could do that, or we could do the one that Carl bought.
Well, we could do both. There's more than enough time. So let's do both.
Carl is sitting here, so he's probably going, oh, talk about mine.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. So there was a fire-damaged house. This is, it doesn't matter the time frame. It was a few years back. Fire-damaged house posted with arson sticker. So this was probably about
in Margate,
5 years ago. So,
in Margate, right?
In Margate. Yes.
Yep.
Turns out the house at that time was abandoned for 11 years. So I spoke to the neighbors. I did skip tracing. I found the owners in Brooklyn, New York, who claimed they owned.
So can you just explain skip tracing real quick? I'm just not going to assume everyone knows.
Okay. Skip tracing is one of the services we use. You can, you search people free, white pages, all those other things. So we were able to run their name and the address and see if any other these companies search any cross links, relatives, other addresses, other phone numbers, emails, any aliases that these people have. Very detailed search just below the ones the police use, where they get social security numbers and driver's license numbers, etc. But gives us a lead to start calling and start trying to locate these people. Well, it turns out they were in Brooklyn, New York. So I called them, and I couldn't reach them. They never returned my phone call. I called the husband's phone numbers, the wife's phone numbers. No one ever called. So I said, okay, never give up. Let's call the son. And I got in touch with the son, who said his parents speak mostly Spanish, and he knows about the house, but he doesn't really talk to his parents much. He's estranged from them, younger man, so he's having trouble with his family problems. So it was something that we had to overcome. Spoke to him a few times over a month period, and then just complete silence, nothing. Well, I got distracted and was doing other things, and eventually this pile of papers on my desk kept growing. So it was about 2 years later that I went through this pile, and this house was in this pile. It was the only one that was still open and available. So I re-skip traced everything.
Wait, hold on a second. So how many guys, if you guys have been investing, right, had the same filing system that Harry just talked about, meaning there's some folders, a full desk of opportunity? Put in the chat. I'm just curious. Go ahead.
I have a terrible file. I never give up, but I never give up on my good filing system either.
Yeah. And also, I know someone's put, IDI Core is, just so you guys know, is phenomenal, and that's a National RIA benefit. So the guys that are members, highly recommend IDI Core. That's the best thing out there. So go ahead, Harry. Now, after the 2 years, and you got through your file.
So I was like, okay, never give up. I skip traced them again. And it turned out that there was another son that didn't show up in the first skip trace 2 years earlier. I'm like, hey, what the hell? Give him a call. So I called him, and it turns out that when I had initially called 2 years earlier, he was in school in Europe and didn't know anything that was going on about the house and everything like that. But he also informed me of the fact that he's happy I called because the investors that were going to buy the house backed out at the last minute. So I was like...
So one more time. So 11 years, empty, fire damage, arson,
now 14.
Yeah, 14, City of Margate, right? So literally, it's been sitting there and no one's done anything. And you found it, you were just driving for dollars on this, right? Or did you actually research this?
No. This one showed up initially in lis pendens and pre-foreclosure, but the bank ended up getting the insurance claim and writing it off to zero. So technically the homeowners owned it. And because I saw the arson sticker, I thought, okay, great. They're not going to get any insurance claim regardless. And maybe they're running and hiding. But so fast forward to the time I spoke to the second son, and I said, well, they backed out because of the $2.6 million in liens and the $25,000 in water and past due taxes. And he goes,
you broke up one second. How much in liens? I want everyone to hear this.
Okay. I broke up. Sorry. Sorry, Victoria. Oh, no, different kind of breakup. $2.6 million in liens. So I said to him, was it because of the $2.6 million in liens and the $25,000 in water and back taxes? And he goes, yes. I said, well, what did they offer? He goes, $55,000. I said, would you still be interested in selling it at $55,000 if I took it with all of those? And he said, let me talk to my parents. And he did. And he came back. He says, yes, we'll be happy to take 55,000. So I'm like, okay. So I put the contracts together. Who did I call? None other than our expert, Carl Sheely, who loves, and I don't know if he loves him, but he knows how to handle city liens, violations, fire damaged houses. He has 13 licenses. So it's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Investment.
Oh, well, he does love money, and we
Who
all do
doesn't?
have money
Well, we
coming.
all love Benjamin Franklin as many times as we can have him. So I called up Carl and I said, Carly, would you be interested in this house? Take a look at it. And while we're there, he goes, how much do you want for it? I said, 235,000. Now, he didn't know I got it for 55,000. Eventually I told him, because Carl is extremely trustworthy. He doesn't care how much money I make as long as he makes money as well. Most investors don't.
Yep.
So I told him everything. I said the 2.6 million liens, what I found out, the 25,000 in hard costs. And he goes, you pay the $25,000 and I'll take it. So I'm thinking $80,000 in all this, and selling it for 235. I'm like, friggin' no brainer. I just put the pieces together, and Carl's doing all the hard work.
Yeah.
God bless you, Carl. We love you. You know that. He's on the call, by the way, people. He took care of everything. He fixed up the house with all the permits, all the necessary, dealt with the city. The water and taxes were paid up at the time he purchased. So anything moving forward, he was covering. He got the liens, $2.6 million in liens, down to, I think it was about $8,000, $8,500. And 3,000 of that was hard costs. Hard costs are something that's non-negotiable. So he got 2.6 million down to basically $4,000. And we know there's certain cities that do this, and we love those cities.
Yeah, there you go. He just put in a chat, $6,800 is what he.
6,800. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it was about 3,500 in hard costs. Okay, so about $3,000 for 2.6 million. City loves Carl. They love us. We solved their problems.
Yeah. So I'm just going to fast forward it. So Carl fixed up the house. He has a great relationship with code enforcement. He was fixing things before. He even closed on it, and he had them go to bat. After he rehabbed it, and if you guys know Carl, which always cracks me up, was when we looked at it, we took our students there, and all of a sudden he became Mr. Realtor, and he said, I forgot what's the famous river that it's on. I was cracking up. He was showing us the house. This is on the famous river of this, and all of a sudden, he was
400 feet of the Stranahan River. That was the first one. This is
yeah, and so I believe so. You made how much? Give or take.
Ended up after closing costs and everything. I think it was 156,000. So the 80 was a little high. I think it was about 75, give or take.
Yeah, and Carl fixed it up, and I want to say you can put it in a chat, Carl. I think you made like about 160. I felt like 160, 180. I don't know.
180, 185.
I made money on the money. I made money on the realtor commission. Okay, 168. Yeah, there you go. Right. So, and the point of that story is it was sitting there for literally 14 years. And, many investors would have been scared from the 2.6 million. I would have way back when. The other end of it is you really do need money to close. And what I mean by that, hard money is not going to give you that money. So you do need to have independent funding. And, when you're in our coaching program, if the deal's right, when the deal's right, I should say, is I'll put up the money for those kind of deals, right? So I think that was a pretty good story. And I think the lesson on that, there's enough room for everyone to make a lot of money. And as long as you have the right people. So Carl being an expert with, fire damage, all the above, it was no big deal for him. And
Carl, what did you sell the house for? The market increased as well, and
Yeah,
I
he did
think
pretty well on that.
six.
Let's keep going, Harry. I got a bunch, so we're gonna move fast.
Okay,
So
you do the next one.
yeah, no, this one's pretty good because it's your house.
Okay.
Your first short sale, right? We got it approved in 6 weeks, I think, right?
Oh
6 weeks,
yeah, yeah.
right? It
The
was
bank,
the
well,
first
we
short
we
sale.
offered 40,000, and the bank said yes right away. And then Nish said we offered too much, so we went back and went in at 20,500. And they said yes again. And I
Yeah.
said, let's go for a lower number. He goes, no, 20,500.
Well, do you remember? So we got it sold on our 10,000 plus cash buyers list, right? It was going to move fast. And the day before closing, they were doing the walkthrough. Do you remember that there was no
Oh, I
copper?
remember everything about that one. That was our first deal, you know.
Yeah. So what happened with the copper? You want to talk about what happened? Like, it was funny. I
Okay.
was just thinking of deals, and I was like, this popped up in my head, cracked me up. I was like,
So the buyer offered, this was with Bill and Jan when we were back then.
yeah.
You were there, obviously. The buyer offered $49,000. We're figuring, hey, 20,500 to 49,000. That's a great price. And the buyer asked us to hold it for a week because he had whatever. He wanted us to hold it for a week. Well, on day 6 of that hold, I get a call from the previous owners saying the neighbors called them to let them know the air conditioning's missing. So, sorry, you got this calls. But so we went to the house, and not only was the air conditioning missing, but the water heater in the garage was missing, and there was 3 inches of water in the floor. The walls between the kitchen and the bathroom were gone, as all the copper pipes that were there were gone. That beautiful broom swept house that the owners were so happy to clean up for us is now full of drywall dust and footprints of the thieves that stole, the scrappers that stole everything in there. So I'm like, Jan, what do we do? She goes, call the police. We'll meet you at the house with the buyer and our appraiser. So we go there. The police are filling out a report. Our appraiser's walking around. The buyer's there. I didn't know anything, completely nothing what to do.
Yeah. So this was your first deal. Yep.
I'm just listening to the experts, listening to what they do, and had absolutely zero clue.
Yeah.
And Victoria's next to me, and we're just listening. And I remember this like huddle of the buyer, Jan on this side, Victoria next to me. And the buyer's like, well, he goes, I don't want it at $49,000. Right at that moment, like clockwork, the appraiser comes in. He goes, it's going to be about $9,000 to fix this. And I don't know if Jan said anything, but the buyer says, I'll take it at 40 grand. So I'm like 20 to 40 in my head. Hey, that's still a great profit, right? Okay, no problem. Everything moves on. I'm happy. You need to file a police report to get insurance claim, etc. The insurance claim, we're recording this, aren't we? So the insurance claim was for $17,000, maybe a little higher, I don't remember, but the bank paid the insurance company paid $17,000. So 40 went to 57. And I turned to Bill and Jen and Nish. I said, can we find out who the scrappers are and break into every house from now on? I was informed, no, you can't do that. That's insurance.
That's a no. And yeah, and so it's funny because I think the lesson in that deal is when you're professional, you prepare, right? And problems can become big profit. So we went from thinking like, holy crap, like I would have, I remember in the beginning, I'd been like, holy crap, all this stuff is gone. What are we going to do? We gave a small discount on negotiating, and which we would have still made money anyway, right? It wasn't that you wouldn't made any, it was still a nice profit. And then now we got this extra 17,000. So I think the profit was what,
like $34,000 on that property that we purchased for $20,500.
Your first
and we
deal,
didn't do any work. We didn't do any work on it.
Your first deal, $34,000 net profit. right? Again, like the lesson is when you get really good at this, the real money is fixing problems, whether pre-foreclosure, probates, liens, violations, versus what I always say is like regular deals, like with a realtor. Usually those are that are listed. You're not more often than not, you're not fixing a problem. So that's why we love off-market deals. And we show you when you come to the 2-day quick start how to find those off-market deals. I got this. This one I forgot about too. I should have had Carl on this today. I didn't really think about it. I didn't know what his availability on this one was. And so this house was a student deal, and it was in Plantation, and we bought it. What we didn't know, right, was we had it under contract, and there was a sinkhole, right? So. And like, I guess the whole neighborhood, we found out the whole neighborhood had some sinkholes, and theoretically they fixed everything, right? So we got a really good price on it. They just needed to go out because we're cash. And I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. There's a massive spread. Are we going to fix it, or what are we going to do? And then, again, they had a company come out there, quote unquote, fixed it. And guess what? They didn't really fix it very well. And so, Carl, I don't know if you remember this, if you're still on the call. We went into the house. He goes, "Do you notice that the floor is slanted?" And I was like, "No." And again, I was pretty much a rookie still then, and I probably didn't want to notice. Let me rephrase that the floor was slanted, and he had a ball, like a tennis ball. And what he did was, it was a tennis ball or a little ball, and he put it on the ground, and we just watched it roll. It's like I was like, holy crap, right? So then, it was impossible. There's only like 2 or 3 people at the time that were true foundation people, and we have to lift all this other stuff. And so I was super stressed out, right? Actually, that time it was Bill and Jan were putting up the money. So I was like, holy crap, I'm freaking out. And luckily, we found a specific buyer. There was so much spread in the house, so we were able to still wholesale and make 20 grand. So originally we thought we were going to make like, at least if we rehab it, we're going to make 100 something, and it looked like a nightmare. So for me, I was just like, oh my God, like, what a mess on that. So for me, I think that one was, I guess, the lesson, right? I should have had Carl come out there earlier. Don't because and I'll tell you what really happened was the seller gave us all the warranty stuff. That hay was fixed and it was under warranty. Well, guess what? When we actually did dig deeper, I started calling the warranty, like they were no longer they were in business, and somehow there was some sort of loophole out there, right? So now, the person we sold it to, they had to be true cash because they said their hard money person, even though they've done a bunch of things, wouldn't approve that. So that one was like, okay, first time sinkhole. I've seen sinkholes on TV, right? I was like, I've never seen sinkhole, and again, it was a lesson. And the other good thing was we wouldn't have really lost money because we kept extending the inspection period. So when you keep extending the inspection period, you're still covered. It was just that we thought we were going to make a lot more money, and then we couldn't. And again, 20 grand is still not bad. It was right around there too. So as we keep going these stories, what are your favorites now? I'm just curious to see what your favorite stories are so far.
This is where the group participation kicks
Yeah,
in.
that's it. They're like, oh yeah, gotta put in a chat. I want to see what you guys like so far. I could talk about, like, this one was Davidson's deal, where shoot, where was the house? I know who we sold it to. So the lady owned it free and clear, and she had a roommate. And the
Margate.
roommate, the what?
Margate.
Margate. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. The pink house. So the roommate or the lady owned it, had violations. I think it was a couple 100,000 on the violations, and she had a roommate that they didn't get along anymore, that stopped paying, and she wanted to sell the house. And so we said, okay, well, now you got all these violations, all this other good stuff, and like we want the house empty. Like for us, whenever we can, we want the house empty because we're going to wholesale or rehab it. The eviction process can take 60 to 90 days. So it's always just cleaner to have the house empty at closing. So we pushed on her and said, hey, we got to do this and we got to figure out these liens. So we wind up going, with our student and the mentors, Denise and Lucian, they went in front of the magistrate. So of course we have to get on the board, on the case load. Usually they're like once a month in front of the magistrate. It's like a certain day. There's a whole process that you have to get all this paperwork in first before you get to the magistrate. So, Denise and Lucian says, look, ma'am, don't say anything, let just agree with the judge. I know we could get this down. And of course, what does she do? She starts saying, I never got a notice for any of these liens. Ma'am, you've been living in the same house for how long? What do you mean you never got a notice, right? Got a sticker for a violation. And of course, now she's like fighting with the judge. And so instead of getting the fantastic number way lower, we got it down to 15,000. What we did was we convinced her and said, hey, you got to at least pay half, which she did. She paid half. Now we had a number. So we were fine with that. The challenge now became the eviction. Like, how do we get the other person out there, out of the house? And so we hired, we have some of our corporates are eviction attorneys. So we filed for an eviction. And I've never done this before where we actually, I've evicted people or, done an evictions that way, not when someone else is living in the house. So they literally put the eviction notice on the second bedroom door, right? So, and the reason we were able to obviously get in is because she's still in the house. For me, I thought, how interesting. Can you imagine that, Harry, you and I are living together and you want to evict me? Like, what would, like, I'll see you in the kitchen. Like, are you putting a sticky on it? Like, that's my milk, right? Don't touch my stuff. Like, how awkward is that? And so we eventually evicted her out. We cleaned up the house, and that profit was almost $98,000. And we actually sold that to Opendoor. So that was a little bit different on that end of it. And for me, again, an eviction violation. Again, she even said, I've had so many real estate investors come and talk to me. And as soon as I told them this, they had no idea what they're doing. They couldn't even walk them through what the process was. Again, I paid for the eviction up front to get it from the magistrate, and on the spot, we paid it. So that's always important too. They always want to get paid right away when it comes to liens and violations. So that one, for me, I think the lesson is real estate is people. It's not just about the property, where it truly is a people business. And, one of the things we talk about, again, we've done AI. I mean, I use a ton of AI. We talk about it when you do the 2-day quick start, and it's a great support system. It's still a people business, right? The AI is not going to be able to negotiate that for you. The AI is not going to the house, at least not yet. I don't know. Maybe one of Elon Musk's robots could eventually get out there, right? So it's important that, again, I love all the technology. We use the technology, and you still have to get there. I remember this one. This was one of our first short sale deals, and I'll get to the gist of the story. So again, we want these houses to be empty. So we get the short sale approved. We go to the house, and the guy's gone, right? And there's a woman in there. And she knew that back then, even now, sometimes they get relocation money. The bank will allow relocation money. And so now she's in the house, and she's like, oh, I'm not leaving. I live here. Well, you're not on title. No, I've been living here, right? And we're like, you got to pay me. And we're like, no, you got, we're bowing back and forth. So now we had to call the police. So we call the police, they come there, and she shows, this was the funny part, was she literally showed in like whatever bill she was getting there, I don't know, whatever it was, whatever, she had a bill come to the house. So she had an envelope. It could have been a credit card bill, whatever it was. And it showed, hey, the bill comes here, I live here, even though she wasn't living there that whole time. Right. She kind of moved in when she thought there was some money, her ex-boyfriend told her she got a little bit of money. And so the police go, we can't help you on this. Like, she's got this, you're gonna have to go through a whole eviction process. Like, 60 more days, the short sale approval, like we could close on it. What a mess. Like, do we want to deal with this? Is she gonna mess up the house even more? All this good stuff. And so she ended up, it was funny, we gave her $500 because she was like, I have no place to live, all that good stuff. She's like, I'll gladly move, and you could change the locks for $500. Right? So again, no place to live. We give her the $500, to buy furniture, to buy stuff. And she literally walked out, and she walked into a house 4 doors down. So she literally lived four doors away. So she scammed us $500. So I thought that was kind of funny on that one. I was just like, okay, that was, and so
There's all sorts of crazy stories out there. I realized when we first talked about this, like, what properties we ain't gonna pick, and it turns out they're all crazy.
yeah. And I think so on that lesson for me, right? Sometimes what you're literally paying is for speed, not the problem. Right? We could have easily not given her or work out a deal, and we would have, okay, kept her. She would have stayed in the house. It had been 60 days for eviction. It would have cost us probably about $1,200 for the eviction, and whatever, God knows what she would do to the house. Not that it was in great condition at the same time, right? So that was a pretty good one too. I know, go ahead, make sure you guys entered the raffle. Wow, we're almost out of time. Do you got another one, or?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
There was,
Okay.
I don't know, there was this house that was in pre-foreclosure, and I go to visit it, and the weeds are basically waist deep. It's overgrown, vacant, abandoned. It's in a state. The lady died. I found one of the sons in Coral Springs, I think he lived, and ended up leaving a message, and the daughter-in-law called me back, and she goes, your voice, there was something in your voice that made me want to call you back, as opposed to all the others that she was calling. Well, she filled me in that there were 3 children. They didn't want to do anything with the house because the house was upside down. In other words, the bank wanted more than the house was worth, even less, without repairs. But I explained everything to do a short sale and what we're doing, no risk. We would pay for probate, et cetera, et cetera. So she agreed, and she told us there were 3 children, her husband and 2 other siblings. One of those siblings, a 64-year-old catatonic man, that the mother was taking care of his entire life. When she died, he just completely shut down. So the brother took him in and had 24-hour care around the house. They feeding tubes, all this other sad stuff. So we're going through this process, paid for probate. As we're doing probate and getting the short sale in progress, excuse me, the son, who's catatonic, he dies, COVID. This is during COVID. Great. So even though he had no children and no will, no anything, we still had to do probate on him so that the property could transfer to his siblings. His share could transfer to the siblings. So we had to do a double probate on that house. All said and done, we got everything taken care of. Also had an exorbitant number of city liens, violations. Bank even once changed the lock on me, and I couldn't get in the house, so I just broke a window. It's my house, so it's going to be my house. So I broke a window to climb in, but never do that, people. Never do that unless you have control, okay? But that is called breaking and entering. But by the time all said and done, Anish found a buyer for us That was at the time the largest profit margin, net profit, after, not HGTV numbers. We didn't touch the property except the window, and I did pay for mowing the grass and maintaining the landscaping to make the city happy, etc. But ended up netting $179,000 on that deal for something that the family didn't want anything to do with.
Yeah, and they walked away with some money too. So like that was a pretty awesome deal. What's the lesson on that one?
Well, where are you going with this? I know where I
I don't know,
want to.
whatever your lesson's good. I mean, just like
Okay, well, one
yeah.
is, like Anish said earlier, we're getting paid to solve problems, not to buy and sell houses.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation arises, if you can solve the problem, and it starts with trust and building a relationship. People want to work with the people they trust and people they like. So most of your competition is going to be pushy. I want to buy the house, and it's for them. It's all about the money.
Yeah,
Victoria and I never took that approach. Money is secondary to us. It's homeowner first, us second. And when you truly feel that and believe it, that exudes and radiates around you, so that the people feel more comfortable, that you're not trying to be one of those kinds of investors that scam people and,
Yeah. So put in the chat, how many guys are loving today's webinar? Again, this is something totally different that we're just trying out. And, like we said, hey, you know what? Everyone always sees us with the big checks. There's always a lot of work behind that you got to do. And having a team and experts on your side makes a big difference. I'll give you a couple of real other quick ones that I even forgot about this one. We were working a deal. It was a probate deal, and the heirs, and they lived in Texas. And he was older, and he didn't know how to fax or email and didn't have anyone, in his life to really help him with that. So we were stuck. And our student's mother-son team, it's so funny, I forgot about this deal. I said, well, how bad do you want the deal? You need those signatures to get this done. We could do everything else. Once we get it done, we could do a mail away, but we need these initial signatures. And they said, well, how much is on the line? I'm like, I think we can make at least 30 grand on this. And so what was really cool was the son actually flew out to Texas for the day, rented a car, and just showed up at the house to get the signatures. So we got the deal done, right? I don't know. I don't remember the exact amount. It was like probably 25 or somewhere around there and change. And I think the lesson for that one is like, how bad do you want it, right? Being resourceful beats convenience. So when he said like, I'm just gonna have you look Anish, the flight's only this, like in a rent a car, like why wouldn't I do that to make 50%? So that one was pretty interesting. The other two, I'll just go real quick, which we were getting ready to sell the house and wholesale in Miramar, and code enforcement showed up. They kind of peeked over the fence and they saw the illegal shed. And this was going to hold up our closing. So our contractor, Carl Shealy, that you guys know, and when you come to the meeting tomorrow, you could ask him about these stories. He tore it all down that same day and took a photo for code enforcement because he's got a phenomenal relationship with the city of Miramar. And they released the violation, and we still closed on time to do a double closing. So that was pretty cool. And then the other one was in Hollywood. We were getting ready to do a rehab, and it was the day before the open house. And at night, the house actually got broken in. They stole all the appliances, and they even nicked up the kitchen. And we totally redid this house. Carl gets out there at, gosh, I don't know, like if you guys know Carl Shealy, he's like up at 5:30 in the morning. Like I'm up early too, and he's up even earlier. He's at the house like at 7, fixing the cabinets, went and picked up appliances and had it installed, and everything was ready by the open house at 1 o'clock. And luckily that weekend we got a contract. So like those are some of the crazy things that you hear the story and you're like, oh crap, what am I going to do? Right. So that's one of the things that we think that's just really important. These are deals that, again, started out as problems. And then before you know it, like you have the right team and you figure it out, right? So I know we're almost out of time, it looks like. So that is something that, like, wow, it's already 12:25. So what I do want to let you guys know, tomorrow is our in-person meeting. We do have a few seats left for the 2-day quick start. Uh, Again, you'll meet Carl Shealy actually tomorrow. He's one of the guest speakers at the quick start. The owner of ReaFax, Francisco Mago's there. Kevin, who's done a ton of our deals, will be also speaking, and Jose Ramirez, guys. So make sure you guys sign up, take out your phone, get the QR code. It's $6.95 for members. It's $8.95 for non-members. So I just want to make sure that you guys get this and start making changes. Again, as we talked about, it is the first quarter. And I think the big difference, it's between someone who wants to do deals and someone who actually does them. So you're hearing some of the great stories, and everything you're seeing is really the skill set that we're going to teach you how to do deals. And then my goal is for you to do deals on your own. So I always tell people, no more information, it's time to execute. And saying all that, Alexa, I know somebody won something today.
Yes, sir, you are correct. Thank you to everyone who entered the raffle. I think we'll have a few more chances for you guys to win a free seat. So make sure you keep coming back to the webinars, and you will have a chance to win either a quick start or membership or something fun. So our winner for today's raffle is Juliana E. I know you've been before, so feel free to give that to somebody that that wants to come or come again. So
yeah,
thank
oh,
you,
Juliana. All right, I love that.
Fired up.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hope you guys give us a 5-star Google review. This really helps our team. And when you do that 5-star Google review, I'd love for you to put in the Google review your favorite story. Right. So like and it's funny because as I said, when we started thinking about this, I was like, I can't really remember. And all of a sudden I'm like, man, I have another 7 or 8 stories I didn't even get to, which is so crazy. And we made money on them. So these are crazy deals that either Harry's done, I've done, Carl's done. It's all through the RIA that I've been part of. So it's been pretty amazing when it comes to it. And so I hope you enjoyed today. I know it's something totally different. I know I want to see you guys tomorrow. Cynthia is going to be awesome talking about multifamily, small multifamily. When I'm saying small, under 50 units, not syndication. So it's going to be pretty awesome. She's a phenomenal speaker. I have her flying in from Texas. We have another webinar Thursday. Thursday night, we have Marshall Silver doing a little preview about the turning point. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to want to hop in Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. I'm going to get to the point that you guys are going to be sick of me. I'm just going to be everywhere you look, right? I'm going to be right behind you at Publix. No, I'm kidding. So I am so thankful for you guys for always hopping on. And this webinar came up because I think someone mentioned in passing, like, it'd be great to hear some of the stuff that you guys have done, because I do talk about some of these stories randomly in person on workshops. So that's how this came about. Again, you got any other things that you want to talk about or webinars? I'd love to do it. We have a ton of guests coming, also more fireside chats. So I know when you join BPM RIA, you're going to love it. And some of you guys want to actually do deals, book a discovery call. And Harry, you got any last words? Alexa?
Nope, just actually, yes. Make sure you plug on in. I mean, we all start in the beginning. Even the more experienced people, when I started, the more experienced people even found tremendous learning curve for new things and to sharpen what their skills, what they already have. So this is for everybody, whether you don't know how to spell real estate, that was me, or if you're already doing a lot of deals. This is a place that you can feel comfortable, get to know all the people, all the players that are involved, basically business in a box kind of approach. And definitely meeting Cynthia Trammell tomorrow. I was just blown away by her speech when she was talking on the National RIA Cruise. Absolutely love what she has to say. You guys are just going to be blown out of your seats.
Absolutely. Alexa, you got anything before I close
Yes,
this out? Yeah.
absolutely. So we did record today's session, you guys. Please, if you're watching the recording, give this a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Link is in the chat. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this replay with somebody who is scared of crazy deals, because I'm telling you, they may be crazy, but they pay off. So, and we're also here to guide you and point you in the right direction and make sure you get that deal done. So you guys, thank you so much for coming on today. Look out for our thank you email. It'll be coming from info@bpmreia.com. So make sure you look out for that email. We'll send you all the links for tomorrow, Thursday, so on and so forth. And
Yeah, I'm doing double duty, and again, and you guys will be the first to know when Alexa is ready to have that beautiful baby girl. So we're all excited, and on a personal note, which when we were at National RIA's event, when Alexa told me she had a little onesie, and what did it say? The future CO BPM.
COO in training.
Future COO in training. So that's how I found out. And for us at BPM RIA, what I'm really proud of is the amazing staff that we have. They're more than staff; they're a great family, and we all root for each other. So that's what I'm excited about. So I look forward to when you join our community. Some of you guys are already, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow night.
See you guys tomorrow. Please give us a Google review and look out for our thank you email.
Bye, guys.